It has been called the City of Champions, and tonight it plays host to Monday Night Raw. We are live in Rogers Place in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, 6 nights before our trip to Montreal for Money in the Bank. And a massive all-star 6-woman tag team matchup is on hand as Cora, Jade, Roxanne, Perez, and Tiffany Stratton join forces to take on the Queen of the Ring winner, Lyra, Valkyria, and the women that will meet this Sunday for the Women's Championship, #1 contender Stephanie Vaquer and the champion, Rhea Ripley. And speaking of Sunday night in Montreal, who is going to take one of the final few remaining spots in the women's Money in the Bank ladder matchup? Intercontinental Champion Alba Fyre set to go one-on-one with Alexa Bliss. And speaking of Money in the Bank qualifying matches, first, we take you back to last week in St. Louis on Monday Night Raw. Jacob Fatu, Randy Orton meeting in the middle of the main event. A grudge match that went haywire as Jacob Fatu was hell-bent on destroying Randy Orton regardless of the result. The disqualification giving Randy Orton the victory. The brawl would continue. An RKO to Jacob Fatu later would leave Orton's backside unwatched. Solo Sikoa arriving on the scene and dropping Randy Orton with a Samoan spike. But it was a victory nonetheless for the Viper, and so he has been rewarded one of the final spots in the men's Money in the Bank qualifying matchup. Unfortunately for Orton, we don't know his opponent. Randy Orton looks to qualify for Montreal, and so much more going down right here live on Raw. And inside the home of the NHL's Oilers, the 16-time world champion, the franchise, John Cena, is in the house. And of course, this Sunday night in the Bell Center in Montreal, both John Cena and CM Punk look to punch their ticket to SummerSlam for a WWE Championship match. CM Punk threw out the challenge, looking to see if he still has what it takes to hang with the best of them. John Cena would accept the fight. Both men know what each other wants. Both men want to get back to the dance. Both men want a challenge for the Undisputed Championship next month in Cleveland. But only one man will get that opportunity. An historic rivalry that will be renewed this Sunday when Cena and Punk meet one-on-one at Money in the Bank. But John Cena in the middle of the Rogers Place looking to address this Edmonton, Alberta audience. Oh, well, hang on a second here. John Cena out here addressing CM Punk. And it looks like he's got some unwanted company. Imperium's European elegance, Ludwig Kaiser, is in Rogers Place. Well, Kaiser's going to be feeling some type of way as he will not be heading to Montreal to compete in the Money in the Bank ladder match like he so desired after he was turned away a week ago by Damian Priest in that qualifier. Well, I don't know what business Ludwig Kaiser has out here right now, but obviously loads of history between Imperium, John Cena, and even CM Punk. Oh, well, looks like we got a challenge accepted here between John Cena and Ludwig Kaiser. Well, we'll have to wait to see if that matchup becomes official for later tonight, but John Cena's focus truly does need to be on what happens this Sunday. John Cena and CM Punk have wrestled each other dozens of times, but this Sunday may be the most important. Punk and Cena lock horns at Money in the Bank with an opportunity to challenge for the championship at SummerSlam. And of course, we're going to find out who the champion will be come Sunday night, August 24th in Cleveland, as the Undisputed Championship will be on the line. Braun Breaker has held the gold since December, but is it all going to come crashing down at the hands of the ring general? We find out on Sunday in Montreal. But before we get to Money in the Bank, we got a long night ahead of us here in the Rogers Place in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. And for the last month here on Monday Night Raw, a group that has been haunting DIY continues to bring eerie feels from town to town, from arena to arena. The World Tag Team Champions, Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa. Gotta hate to see those fireflies light up the sky. Erick Rowan, Joe Gacy, Nikki Cross, Dexter Lumis, and the man leading the charge, dead center on your screen, Uncle Howdy. The Wyatt Six have not come to play games. They have come with dangerous intentions ever since arriving on Monday Night Raw. You know, rumors have been swirling in the backstage area that the Wyatt Six are out to right a lot of wrongs, not just for their own careers, but for the careers of others. They look at DIY. They look back at the change of heart of Gargano and Ciampa, going to desperate levels to become World Tag Team Champions. The Wyatts view that as an injustice, and ever since their formation, they have targeted DIY in hopes of humbling them, returning them to their former glory, and maybe in the process, taking away their World Tag Team titles. Well, that's the little that we know that's going through the minds of the Wyatt Six. It may be a hell of a lot more complicated and detailed than that. Dark intentions, eerie feels, The Wyatts are here on Raw. And tonight, it is Big Red, Erick Rowan, who looks to keep the Wyatts marching forward. It is put up or shut up for Johnny Gargano of DIY here tonight in Edmonton. We saw Uncle Howdy in action a couple of weeks ago, defeating Grayson Waller. Tonight, Erick Rowan, Johnny Gargano, mano a mano here on Raw.
And his opponent, accompanied by Tommaso Ciampa, representing DIY from Cleveland, Ohio, weighing in at 199 pounds, one half of the world's tag team champion, Johnny Gargano!
It's almost as if the Wyatt Six have positioned themselves as the inevitable for DIY, and all Gargano and Ciampa can do is not run from the fight, but get into the middle of it. The Wyatt Six defeating DIY and Grayson Waller in a six-man tag team matchup last month. And now Erick Rowan, set for his first one-on-one matchup here in the WWE in a couple of years as he goes one-on-one with the whole shebang to kick things off here on Monday Night Raw. And Gargano's going to have to rely on his speed and agility to try to chop, the tree trunk legs of Erick Rowan down to size. Power and strength, and certainly one pissed off, eerie attitude surrounds Erick Rowan in this matchup. Wyatt's looming at ringside, and that cannot be a good feeling for Gargano or Ciampa. DIY know that the Wyatt Six want their World Tag Team titles and have truly taken issue with their attitudes of Gargano and Ciampa for one reason or another. Erick Rowan looking to send a message on behalf of the entire family here on Raw. Johnny Gargano in quick fashion may be in trouble here, still alive. Johnny Gargano, like we just mentioned a moment ago, is going to have to try to rely on any kind of speed and agility because this one powerful force is running at him full head of steam. Look at the strength of Erick Rowan. Erick Rowan's got Edmonton on their feet as Gargano's looking up at the lights of Rogers Place. And, oh, hold on here. Tommaso Ciampa tails all this time. DIY from the outside to the inside, trying to distract. And Johnny Gargano going to come from behind. Crucifix pinfall on the Big Red, but Erick Rowan's still alive. And the Wyatt Six may look like monsters. They may bring a feeling like monsters every time they walk down the aisle, but they are mortal men. And DIY have got a lot of underhanded tactics up their sleeves to try to pick apart this family, to say the least. Certainly some strange individuals that we have seen in years past here in WWE, but all of them has just adopted a new persona, it seems. Johnny Gargano able to take Erick Rowan off his feet. Erick Rowan, a former multiple-time over tag team champion with the late great Luke Harper. I'm sure would love to win tag team gold yet again. Johnny Gargano en route, possibly the victory here. Looking to cut the Wyatt Six momentum down. Unfortunately for him, Erick Rowan just freaky strength. Kick it out, and now that discus leg lariat that's got to feel like getting hit with a Mack truck. Erick Rowan back to his feet in a moment's notice here. The Wyatts have arrived and they have targeted DIY. Gargano and Ciampa got no choice but to fight this battle, whether they like it or not. Unfortunately for them, it has not really gone their way as of late. Somehow recruited Grayson Waller for that six-man tag team matchup. That did not go the way they planned. Grayson Waller himself falling short to Uncle Howdy in one-on-one action. And if this keeps up, well, wait a minute. I was about to say, if this keeps up, Erick Rowan may be one step closer to victory, but again, Tommaso Ciampa right off your screen, trying to do all he can to distract Big Red. Johnny Gargano now from behind, Poison Rana! And meanwhile, referee Rod Zapata, I believe, is tossing Tommaso Ciampa out of here. And good on him. Erick Rowan eats that poison rana. Gargano unable to capitalize. Distracted by the fact that Ciampa just got tossed, but it might not matter. Victory for Rowan and the Wyatts.
Here is your winner, Erick Rowan.
DIY are gonna have to go back to the drawing board and figure out how they're gonna get through this unit, because the Wyatts ever since arriving have been untouchable. And a date for the World Tag Team Championship may just be inevitable with the Wyatt Six here on Raw. Welcome to SummerSlam.
I have to make a choice.
Think down even further.
Drowning out my voice. If you're feeling lost, sing this song with me. It will shine a light. I hope that you can stay. Slide away, carry me. Take me
Well, the road to SummerSlam is only going to heat up. Saturday night, August the 9th in Bridgeport for Saturday night's main event. Backstage Pass channel members, get ready. It's Great Balls of Fire on August 14th in Baltimore. And then all roads lead to Cleveland. Sunday night, August the 24th for the biggest rock fest of the summer, SummerSlam. And on the road to Money in the Bank, we stop in Montreal on Sunday. The only question is, who's joining the Money in the Bank fray?
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making his way to the rings from St. Louis, Missouri. Weighing in at 295 pounds. The Vice.
Let us take a look at who's heading to Montreal thus far in the men's Money in the Bank ladder matchup. The ruler of Obafemi, the Prince Finn Balor, main event, Jey Uso, and the Punishment, Damian Priest. Already multiple underlining stories in the Money in the Bank ladder matchup on Sunday, but still 2 more slots to be filled. Coming up on SmackDown Thursday night, Big Jimmy Uso goes one-on-one with old Trick Williams, in what will be the final Money in the Bank qualifying match. But we are going to figure out who takes the 5th of 6 spots. Will it be the Apex Predator Randy Orton? Or will it be whoever is opposing Orton tonight? It has been left a mystery all day long as to who is about to walk down the aisle and try to fight one of the most legendary superstars this industry has ever seen for the opportunity that hangs in the balance, which is Money in the Bank. Oh, well, we should have known.
And his opponent from Boston, Massachusetts, weighing in at 210 pounds, Carmelo Hayes!
You know, it was only 3 weeks ago that Carmelo Hayes was kicked off SmackDown by his old best friend Trick Williams when he lost that last man standing loser leaves SmackDown matchup. Well, I guess it was only a matter of time before Melo weaseled his way in to a spot on the Monday Night Raw roster. Away from Trick Williams, away from the past. Carmelo Hayes looking to kick down the door and start a new future. And what a way he could do so. One-on-one with Randy Orton in a Money in the Bank qualifying matchup. Like him or not, this is a huge opportunity for the man they call him. Well, we have our answer as to the Viper's opponent, but now we need an answer to the next question. Who's going to Money in the Bank? Who's going to Montreal? Orton, Melo, right here in Edmonton. And Carmelo Hayes, high out of the gate, taking Randy Orton off his feet. First time ever bout tonight. Both Carmelo Hayes and Randy Orton were part of the SmackDown brand for about a year, until, of course, Randy Orton was drafted over a couple of months ago, and now Carmelo Hayes arriving back on Monday Night Raw. These two men's past never crossed over on SmackDown, but now they're going to cross here on Raw, and Melo better not overlook Randy Orton tonight. I don't know why you would, but Melo ever overconfident sometimes. Carmelo Hayes just now arriving to Monday Night Raw. After being booted off SmackDown, the last thing he wants is for his momentum, to continue to just get derailed, especially after he was booted off SmackDown by his old best friend and Trick Williams. Melo better keep his eye on the ball here. Randy Orton is going to strike when he least expect it. Again, Randy Orton awarded this Money in the Bank qualifying match tonight as he was victorious by hook or by crook against Jacob Fatu last week. I'm sure if Fatu knew that a possible spot in the Money in the Bank qualifier matchup was on the line, maybe he wouldn't have got himself disqualified and been so hell-bent on just destroying Randy Orton and would have focused on getting the victory. That is just the nature of the game. Randy Orton still with a lot of bones to pick with the Bloodline, but right here and now his sole focus is on a former United States champion in Carmelo Hayes, and of course trying to qualify for the Money in the Bank ladder matchup. There's Melo! Taking way too much time, and the veteran just gonna pull him right off that middle rope. Bring him a little bit back down this size. You're in the home of the NHL's Oilers. Randy Orton a couple of months ago challenged Braun Breaker for the WWE Championship. He was unsuccessful. Of course, inside the Money in the Bank briefcase. A World Championship matchup anytime, any place for up to 1 year. Every superstar dying for that opportunity. I'm sure Randy Orton would love to move one step closer to yet another World Championship here in the WWE. Carmelo Hayes may be in trouble as Randy Orton seemingly starting to hear voices. Melo, however, able to create some distance when he needed it most, and now that float over DDT spikes the Viper right on his head. Carmelo Hayes, all the tools to be a success. And on a bit of a string of bad luck over on SmackDown. Now looking to turn it around on Raw as he goes over the top rope and comes crashing down on Orton. It could be a huge feather in the cap for Carmelo Hayes if he can somehow, some way, find a way to defeat Randy Orton. Face first he goes. Melo surviving a little bit of a fury from Randy Orton there. Weathered the storm, if you will. Now it's up to Melo to capitalize here. On top he goes. Frog splash by Carmelo Hayes. But Randy Orton's still alive there as he pops the shoulder off the canvas. See Carmelo Hayes starting to get frustrated as that is not what he can allow. Melo may be a former United States champion, but ever since he lost that United States title last fall over on SmackDown, a string of bad luck really started to start. Loss after loss, failed championship opportunities. His old best friend and Trick Williams defeating him at WrestleMania, defeating him just a few weeks ago to kick him off SmackDown. Melo needs a victory. He needs to get his career back on track. And defeating Randy Orton and qualifying for Money in the Bank is certainly a way to do it. Randy Orton now on a wobbly foundation. Melo double springboard. Incredible maneuver that time, but Randy Orton being as resilient as he can be. Couple of close falls for Carmelo Hayes. Unfortunately, no victory to be had. Sidestep by Randy Orton. Taking Carmelo Hayes down at the clothesline. Making a dose. The ever powerful, the ever vicious, the ever meticulous apex predator inside of that ring. Carmelo Hayes getting the brunt of it. To the ropes it goes, and there's the vintage scoop and a little bit of a slam. And Carmelo Hayes able to survive. They've called Melo the one of one. They've called him. He's called himself a generational talent. Can he get the job done where it matters most? Or is Randy Orton about to punch his ticket to Montreal? Melo gets dropped with a draping DDT to go to Montreal. Another kick out. Hell of a lot of near falls in this Money in the Bank qualifying matchup. Randy Orton measuring his man, trying to figure out what he's going to have to do to keep down this young, tough kid who wants his opportunity. Melo now hoisted on top. Randy Orton not afraid to meet him up there. Hearing voices, he's got a plan, he's looking to execute. Orton looking for the superplex. A maneuver made famous by his father. The Viper, coiled, maybe looking to strike. Oh, there's a counter by Melo. First 48, Melo might have caught him. Melo's going to Montreal. No, and only a one count that time. Orton's still alive, but Melo going to keep his foot on the gas. Carmelo Hayes has got a strike while the iron's hot. Orton may be dazed. Suplex into the cutter. All he needs is a 3 count for his biggest opportunity yet, but Orton's still alive and frustration is written all over Melo. Edmonton, Alberta, on their feet, the complete opposite of Orton right now. Randy Orton has done a hell of a job adapting to this mystery opponent here. We should expect nothing less for the veteran. Nice reversal that time. Carmelo Hayes getting dropped. And Randy Orton gonna start picking apart his mystery man. Oh, wait a minute here. Oh, hold on. Orton's starting to turn the tables, and here's the Intercontinental Champion, Solo Sikoa, coming down the ringside. Well, you saw what happened last week. Oh, wait a minute here. Melo off the schoolboy. Orton was distracted. Carmelo Hayes just stole the victory thanks to the Bloodline Solo Sikoa.
Here is your winner, Carmelo Hayes.
Randy Orton just got screwed by Solo Sikoa. Oh man, well Carmelo Hayes better be thanking his lucky stars for the problems that are ever brewing between Orton and the Bloodline, because they just benefited him. Carmelo Hayes arrives on Monday Night Raw, and on night 1 has pinned Randy Orton, and now he's going to Montreal to join Money in the Bank this Sunday night. Melo could be money. Well, this Sunday night at Money in the Bank, Braun Breaker will defend the WWE Championship against Gunther. But this is not the first time these two men have went one-on-one. We take you all the way back to last year, April the 13th in San Juan, Puerto Rico at Backlash, when both men resided on the SmackDown brand. Braun Breaker, hot off the heels of what was the biggest victory of his career at WrestleMania a month prior over Hall of Famer Edge, challenged Gunther in the midst of his World Heavyweight Championship reign. Gunther had been about halfway through his reign at this point, holding the championship for November of 2023 through WrestleMania and into Backlash on that night. Braun Breaker gave Gunther hell. No matter what story Gunther wants to tell, it was not an easy task getting through Braun on that night. Gunther was able to defeat Braun Breaker and retain his world championship all the way last April. But Braun is a completely different individual. In July of 2025, who knows what's going to happen when these two men clash yet again this Sunday in Montreal. But we know later tonight, here in Edmonton, it has officially been signed. Imperium's Ludwig Kaiser takes on a familiar foe in the franchise John Cena. The history between Imperium and Cena runs oh so deep, and Cena and Kaiser are going to write another chapter later tonight here on Raw. So much momentum for Money in the Bank is in the air tonight, waiting for superstars to grasp it. And in terms of opportunity, who's going to kick down the door of it? Who's going to qualify for the women's Money in the Bank ladder match? A former champion and a former Money in the Bank holder, and Alexa Bliss, set to go one-on-one with the women's Intercontinental Champion of the Unholy Union, Alba Fyre.
And her opponent, accompanied by Isla Dawn, representing the Unholy Union from Glasgow, Scotland, the WWE Women's Intercontinental Champion, Alba Fyre.
Alba Fyre or Alexa Bliss will join this field come Sunday. So far, Roxanne, Perez, and Tiffany Stratton from Raw, Liv Morgan and Julia from SmackDown. We know the final spot from SmackDown will be determined on Thursday night, but right here on Monday Night Raw, it is Alba Fyre, it is Alexa Bliss. One of these women is going to take the 5th of 6 spots in the ladder matchup on Sunday. Well, Alba Fyre has really started to carve a path of her own in 2025. Really, the Unholy Union as a whole has, but nobody can deny the gold that is around the waist of Fyre. Already the Intercontinental Champion. She very well could be Miss Money in the Bank come Sunday. But first, she's got to get through Alexa Bliss, and history tells us that that'll not be an easy task. Alexa Bliss hell-bent on qualifying for Montreal. Again, on Thursday night on SmackDown, it will be the final qualifier for the Money in the Bank ladder matchup as Bayley is set to go one-on-one with the Women's United States Champion and Kairi Sane. Look at that here. Isla Dawn already playing a difference maker, distracting Alexa Bliss, allowing Alba Fyre to deliver that brutalizing headbutt. The Unholy Union have certainly leaned on their numbers game in the past. It is really what helped Alba Fyre secure the Intercontinental Championship back in Glasgow, Scotland at Clash at the Castle. Alexa Bliss knows she's going to have to fight the numbers of the Unholy Union tonight, but willing to do anything she's got to do to ensure that she's marching down the aisle on Sunday and has a chance to climb the rungs of the ladder and take down the briefcase. Alexa Bliss off the moonsault to double knees. Alba Fyre still in this matchup. Alexa Bliss, a veteran of the game at this point, multiple time over champion, whether it's here on Raw or over on SmackDown. Took a little bit of time away from the ring to recover from some nagging injuries. Return at the end of last summer. Made it all the way to the final, or I should say the semifinals of the inaugural Queen of the Ring tournament last year. But unfortunately, Alexa Bliss has not been able to capitalize on a lot of opportunities that have come her way over the last 12 months here in WWE. Maybe tonight will be a different story, but not if Alba Fyre has got anything to say about it. Tornado DDT out of the corner. You want to talk about what Alexa Bliss has accomplished? What about Alba Fyre? Former NXT United Kingdom Women's Champion, had one hell of a reign with that gold. Made her debut on Monday Night Raw less than 2 years ago. Isla Dawn joined her a couple of months later. The Unholy Union has done everything they can to make a name for themselves. Win, lose, or draw, they have always impressed. I would say 2025 has been the best year yet since they have aligned here on Monday Night Raw. As Alba Fyre looks to get the victory here, but Alexa Bliss still in it. Again, win, lose, or draw. Fyre and Dawn have been in the ring with, of course, the queen of the ring, Lyra Valkyria. Women's champion Rhea Ripley knows all about Fyre and Dawn. She's dealt with them firsthand on numerous occasions this year. And Alba Fyre, of course, defeating Lyra back in Glasgow to win the Intercontinental Championship. Now she looks to turn away Alexa Bliss here and gain some more opportunity for the Unholy Union by qualifying for Money in the Bank. Alexa Bliss trying to do all she can to secure a rally here in Rogers Place, but Fyre just shutting it down. Again, Roxanne, Perez, and Tiffany Stratton, who will team up in just a bit alongside Cora, Jade. A big 6-woman tag team matchup, but those are your 2 Raw representatives thus far. Judgment Day's Liv Morgan, the Beautiful Madness Julia. SmackDown's 2 representatives, either Bayley or Kairi Sane, will join those names. Find out who it's going to be on Thursday, but right now Alexa Bliss just trying to get herself in the driver's seat. Takes Alba Fyre down to the canvas. Might have been standing on the hair that time. Referee Daphne LaShawn let a little bit go, excuse me. She understands the opportunity that is at stake for these 2 women tonight. Alba Fyre a couple of weeks ago turning away Candice LeRae. Alexa Bliss has been in the ring with some of the best that Raw has to offer in recent months. Names like Roxanne Perez, former champion, and Cora Jade, the woman who won last year's Money in the Bank, that is. No matter if it's been a victory or defeat, Alexa Bliss, as gritty as they come, continues to get back up and fight. Unfortunately for her, Alba Fyre is just double tough. And she is finding that out firsthand. Alexa Bliss once again sees her rally go up in smoke, or maybe not. Maybe there's still some daylight on the horizon for the woman once known as the goddess of WWE. Alexa Bliss in 2025 is like all past versions of herself molded into one. Dare I say maybe the best version of Alexa Bliss. She's just got to start putting the pieces together and getting some victories all over again. Face first goes the Intercontinental Champion, and again, this is where Alexa's got to try to do her best to have tunnel vision as Isla Dawn again distracting Alexa Bliss in the midst of this Money in the Bank qualifier. And it may come back to haunt her. Alba Fyre with that gory special. Taking advantage of the distraction. And Alexa Bliss still in this qualifying bout. One half of the Unholy Union and Alba Fyre thought she had Bliss put away. I think referee Daphne LaShawn needs to take a page out of Rod Zapata's book. He threw Tommaso Ciampa out of ringside earlier. She ought to throw Isla Dawn back to the showers as well. Alexa Bliss off the sidestep. No matter if she's fighting an uphill battle, no matter if she's fighting the numbers game, Bliss going to continue to fight until she hears the bell. All in the name of joining the ranks, joining the field, heading to Money in the Bank in Montreal, Quebec. Another drop kick in the corner. The Intercontinental Champion has been nothing short of a success as of late, but that momentum may be on the verge of going up in smoke. Bliss, middle rope, going for a missile drop kick that time from the elevated position, but Alba Fyre getting out of harm's way. And now the Intercontinental Champion heading to the top rope. Swanton bomb by Fyre. And Alba is heading to Money in the Bank.
Here is your winner, Alba Fyre.
Well, you know Alexa Bliss is going to have something to say to Isla Dawn about the numbers game here tonight. But that is just the story that the Unholy Union provides. And now the Women's Intercontinental Champion, and Alba Fyre joins the field on Sunday night. She joins Roxanne Perez, Julia, Tiffany Stratton, and Liv Morgan. Either Bayley or the United States Champion Kairi Sane will take the final slot in the Women's Money in the Bank. Oh, hold on here. Something's going on at the top of the stage. You need to get cameras back inside the Rogers Place. It appears that Kevin Owens and Jacob Fatu have brawled out to Edmonton. Well, Owens has been dealing with a bloodline problem for months here on Monday Night Raw, as are several other superstars. Well, I don't know who started this fight. It very well may have been Kevin Owens, who's got to be fed up with Fatu, Tama, Loa, and of course Solo. Well, a brawl has ensued here in Rogers Place between the Samoan werewolf Jacob Fatu and the prize fighter Kevin Owens. Well, I mean, no disrespect to referee Adrian Butler, but I think we're going to need a little bit more than him to separate these two freaks of nature that want nothing more than tear each other apart. Owens with a senton at ringside. We know Jacob Fatu is unhinged, but Kevin Owens at his best, or shall I say at his worst, may be that much more unhinged than Jacob himself. Kevin Owens has clearly had enough of the bloodline, their numbers, their antics, and all the beatdowns that they've insinned upon on Owens and Zayn as of late. Oh, now the brawl has been taken inside of the squared circle here. This is not a match, ladies and gentlemen. This is simply a fight. One that must have broken out in the backstage area here in Rogers Place and is now spilled out in front of the world in Edmonton, Alberta. Fatu running over Owens. Well, just ask Randy Orton, just ask Seth Rollins how destructive the enforcer of the bloodline can be. Jacob Fatu with that impaler DDT, dropping Kevin Owens on his head and throwing him right out to ringside. Oh, hold on here, Sami Zayn coming to get him some. Sami Zayn, who has felt the wrath of Jacob Fatu in the past. Sami Zayn, who may be Intercontinental Champion today if it weren't for the numbers of the bloodline. Sami Zayn coming to even the score, coming to help his best friend. Haluva kick to the Samoan werewolf. Well, that might neutralize this wild animal, at least for a moment. Sami Zayn taking out the trash in his home country. Oh no, watch your back. Sami Solo's now in the ring. And now the Intercontinental Champion with a Samoan spike. As if Solo already hasn't done enough bad here tonight. Just left Sami Zayn laid out. Can't get enough universe mode? PLE kickoff shows, live events, all exclusive to Noah Nation Gaming channel members. Hit the join button down below and gain access to more universe than ever before. Well, ladies and gentlemen, let us just take a look at the night that Solo Sikoa has already had here on Raw. First distracting Randy Orton in the midst of a Money in the Bank qualifying matchup. The brewing rivalry between Orton and the rest of the bloodline. This allowing Carmelo Hayes to steal away a spot in Money in the Bank. And then moments ago, Sami Zayn coming to the aid of Kevin Owens, only to be attacked from behind by the Intercontinental Champion and left laying, looking up at the lights of Rogers Place after a Samoan spike. The bloodline just continuing to step on anybody who stands in their way in the midst of a hostile takeover here on Monday Night Raw. But nonetheless, we move on here as we got an all-star 6-woman tag team matchup on hand. And competing for the first time since Seattle, the Queen of the Ring, Lyra Valkyria.
And from Dublin, Ireland, Lyra Valkyria.
Lyra Valkyria, the 2025 Queen of the Ring, the second ever at that. The inaugural Queen of the Ring, who won the tournament last year. Tiffany Stratton has taken issue with Valkyria ever since Lyra knocked her out of the tournament about a month ago. Well, Lyra Valkyria may have won Queen of the Ring, but she's been hell-bent on getting retribution over Tiffany for said attack. A brawl ensued a couple of weeks ago here on Raw. Now their paths gonna cross again in the midst of this 6-woman tag team matchup live at Edmonton. And as for Lyra, she teams with the 2 women who are her possible SummerSlam opponents for the WWE Women's Championship.
And from San Fernando, Chile, Tiffany Vaquer.
After winning the over-the-top rope battle royal back in Seattle, Stephanie Vaquer will go one-on-one with the Nightmare, Rhea Ripley, for the first time ever live this Sunday. The WWE Women's Championship will be on the line. The winner of that matchup heads into Cleveland next month, Sunday night, August the 24th to be exact, where they will defend the title against Lyra Valkyria at SummerSlam. But the Dark Angel continuing to make waves here on Monday Night Raw. She aligns with Lyra tonight and also stands side by side with her Money in the Bank opponent. Rhea and Stephanie have had each other's backs when Cora and Roxanne have tried to run them over. Tonight they do the same. But on Sunday, all bets are off because that piece of hardware is going to be at stake.
And from Adelaide, South Australia, the WWE Women's Champion, Rhea
Rhea Ripley has held the gold since Sunday night, March the 9th in Philadelphia at WrestleMania, where she defeated one of her opponents tonight in Tiffany Stratton. Rhea has continued to hold on to that gold and defend it against any woman that steps up ever since. Tiffany, Roxanne, ask them, they've been turned away by the Nightmare. Will Stephanie Vaquer, the Dark Angel, La Primera, the #1 contender herself, suffer the same fate come Montreal? Or will Rhea Ripley's days as women's champion truly be numbered? A lot of questions regarding that championship, regarding SummerSlam, are going to be answered on Sunday night. But tonight, Rhea, Stephanie, and Lyra all align to try to take out common enemies in Cora Jade, Tiffany Stratton, and Roxanne Perez. All 3 of those women have targeted Lyra, Vaquer, or Ripley for one reason or another in recent weeks and months here on Monday Night Raw. Tonight it all comes to a head. You look at the talent, you look at the superstar caliber of this matchup. There's a reason it has been listed as an all-star 6-woman tag team affair that now, as the bell has sounded, is officially underway. Lyra Valkyria in the ring with last year's Money in the Bank winner, former WWE Women's Champion, as well as tag team champion in Cora Jade. Jade's been on a bit of a bad luck streak, if you will, as of late, getting knocked out of the Queen of the Ring tournament by Stephanie Vaquer, which was Vaquer's debut matchup. And, you know, not for nothing, but Tiffany Stratton has been throwing a hissy fit that Lyra Valkyria knocked her out of the first round. You don't see Stephanie Vaquer acting as such. Lyra Valkyria actually defeated La Primera in the semifinals of the Queen of the Ring tournament, and there's nothing but respect between those 2 competitors. We'll say her name and she will appear. Tiffany Stratton being tagged in. Might have ran away from the brawl with Lyra 2 weeks ago, but now she's more than happy to jump into this fight now that Lyra has already been attacked by Cora Jade. Tiffany Stratton, I'm sure, would love nothing more than to keep down the Queen of the Ring winner, Lyra Valkyria, and show the world that she should be a back-to-back Queen of the Ring winner, and trying to go to SummerSlam to regain the championship she lost at WrestleMania. Speaking of former champions, here's the former Women's World Champion and Tag Team Champion, and the woman who you voted 2024 Women's Superstar of the Year, Roxanne Perez, who's getting lit up by Lyra right now. Lyra Valkyria dropping Perez right at her crown. Time 2025 is done. You fans just may be voting Lyra Valkyria as the Women's Superstar of the Year. Or maybe it's going to be La Primera, Stephanie Vaquer, who within less than a month, or I should say just over a month, since debuting on Monday Night Raw, could very well be leaving Montreal on Sunday as the helm, as the queen, as the women's champion. All remains to be seen. Right now, she's just in the ring, I should say, with Roxanne Perez, a woman who has been giving her some problems since her arrival. Held debut night for Vaquer on Raw, defeating Cora Jade, as we mentioned a moment prior. Celebration was cut short thanks to an attack from Roxanne Perez. Vaquer has been nothing short of impressive, outlasting that Battle Royal back at the King and Queen of the Ring kickoff show. Defeating Nia Jackson's singles action right here on Raw just 24 hours later. Stood eye to eye with Rhea Ripley, Cora, and Roxanne, even interrupted that. Bad blood, unfinished business that is looking to be settled here tonight on Monday Night Raw. There's a double team maneuver by the best friends, the former women's tag team champions in Cora Jade and Roxanne Perez. There's a couple other women in the locker room who got a bone to pick with Cora and Roxanne Perez, and that's two women who they've had a lot of history with, in Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill, your current women's tag team champions. Cora Jade, however, not interested in those affairs. She's just looking to take out Vaquer in this six-woman tag team matchup. Cheap shot on Rhea. Mentioned that, however, because it was last week here on Monday Night Raw that Roxanne Perez qualified for Money in the Bank by defeating Bianca Belair, and she certainly had a little bit of an assist as Cora Jade was playing her distraction at ringside. Sure, Bianca and Cargill are going to have something to say about that in the coming weeks, but right now it's Stephanie Vaquer who's just trying to rally a comeback. Tag made to the Queen of the Ring and Lyra Valkyria. Lyra, Stephanie, Rhea, three women who will all revolve around the Women's Championship from Sunday night at Money in the Bank to next month at SummerSlam, excuse us. But obviously putting any little differences and any lust for gold they may have aside tonight to try to take out Cora, Stratton, and the woman who was just tagged in Roxanne Perez once and for all. Rhea Ripley, now your legal competitor as well. And Rhea and Perez, no shortage of history over the last few months here on Raw. Great contest between these two women back in May in Glasgow at Clash at the Castle. Perez nearly leaving the event on that night as the new women's champion, but Rhea Ripley has just been on, dare I say, the best run of her career. 2025 Royal Rumble match winner. Rhea Ripley knows a thing or two about Money in the Bank. It was 2 years ago that she won the contract and she cashed it in successfully to become champion. Roxanne Perez and Tiffany Stratton aligning tonight, but they are going to be opponents on Sunday as well in Montreal when they are 2 of the 6 in that ladder matchup. Rhea Ripley very well could find herself being cashed in on by a former opponent in either Perez or Stratton. Perez off the Impaler DDT. The Stephanie Vaquer breaking things up. Roxanne Perez pulling out some of her best hits to try to keep down the Nightmare. There's a tag to Tiffany Stratton. Hell of a lot of history between Stratton and Rhea this year. Long road to WrestleMania for these two women. Rhea conquering Stratton in what was still being called one of the best matches of 2025 back at WrestleMania. A great sequel at Backlash back in April as well, as Rhea Ripley once again defeated Tiffany Stratton. Now their paths crossing in the midst of this 6-woman tag team matchup, and Tiffany Stratton may be wishing she was anywhere but Edmonton right now. That was like a hockey check right here in the home of the Oilers. Rhea Ripley ragdoll the Buff Barbie out of the corner. I think the WWE Women's Champions love to put an exclamation point on this bout. Face first goes Stratton. Rhea now mounting into the cover, and there's the Prodigy breaking things up this time. Tag made to the Dark Angel, the woman who opposes Rhea on Sunday. Great respect there. A different circumstance tonight. Stephanie Vaquer and Tiffany Stratton now locking horns. Tiffany Stratton now off the ropes, and Stephanie Vaquer with that belly-to-back body drop taking out the Buff Barbie. Stephanie Vaquer has seen one blemish since joining Monday Night Raw. That's that Queen of the Ring semifinal bout to Lyra Valkyria. But Vaquer is proving to you right now why she earned #1 contendership. A devil's kiss that lights Edmonton and the rest of the world on fire. Look at her rearrange the pretty looks of old Tiffy time there as Stratton may be knocked unconscious. That'd be a beautiful maneuver to look at, but it is absolutely devastating for the opponent. Stephanie Vaquer now sends Stratton into the ropes again. I think Stratton might have raked the eyes, and now Alabama Slammer on La Primera. And Rhea Ripley saves the day of her Money in the Bank opponent. Tag made to Roxanne Perez. So many intertwining stories with all 6 of these women for the last few months on Raw, and more stories that will intertwine this coming Sunday at Money in the Bank. But right now, the eyes of the world are on Roxanne Perez and Stephanie Vaquer. Tag made to Cora. Jade has felt the wrath of La Primera firsthand, was pinned by Stephanie of her debut night here on Raw. Jade has not forgotten about it. And there's Lyra Valkyria breaking things up. And a cheap shot by Jade. I'll tell you what, no matter who's getting their hand raised the other side of the bell, nobody's going to say this wasn't an action-packed 6-woman tag team matchup. Vaquer kicked in the abdominal, packages Cora up, delivers her to the knee. Did Vaquer just secure victory for her trio? Not if Roxanne Perez has anything to say about it. Stephanie not going to take that too lightly. Sidewalk slam right on the knee. Nearly left herself uncovered, but Jade unable to capitalize. Great combination. There's a tag to Lyra Valkyria. Tag to Tiffany Stratton. A brewing rivalry here as looks like Rhea Ripley and Roxanne Perez are starting to go at it at ringside. Lyra lighting Stratton up inside the ring. And that discus leg lariat. Into the cover, you see Jade thinking on her feet, turning right back around, hitting the U-turn, and making sure a 3 count wasn't to be had. Lyra Valkyria hell-bent on giving Stratton the fight that Stratton ambushed her with a couple of weeks ago, as the fight just continuing at ringside right now. Now it's Cora and Vaquer going at it. Referee Adrian Butler certainly got his work cut out for him tonight. Tiffany Stratton upset that Lyra bounced her out of the Queen of the Ring tournament, the tournament that she won last year. Lyra now the winner of the tournament that had to sting Stratton that much more as she takes a shot at Rhea. Stratton wanted nothing more and to win the Queen of the Ring, go on the challenge for the championship once again at SummerSlam. Unfortunately, that opportunity goes to the woman who continues to fight her at the given moment. Stratton and Lyra scratching and clawing and scraping each other to no ends inside of that ring. Another reversal. Not the first time these 2 women have been in the ring with each other. You start to become familiar with each other's arsenal. Lyra Valkyria here. Maybe dazed, maybe confused, may just be trying to get her wits about her as a former WWE Women's Champion is hot on her tail. Looks like some order has been regained, at least for the given moment, as Tiffany Stratton is oozing confidence here. Lyra Valkyria, don't underestimate her. She was able to turn away the ever-intimidating, beautiful Madness Julia in the finals of the Queen of the Ring a couple of weeks ago. Tiffany Stratton better keep her eyes on the prize as she just levels Lyra Valkyria with a pair of boots in the corner. Tiffany Stratton starting to strut and feel her best. Maybe the best she's felt in months as she is in firm control over Lyra. At least for the moment. Boot right to the jawline. Lyra and Stratton picking each other's bones inside of the ring, and there's a clothesline of the Queen of the Ring. Lyra Valkyria now looking to put an exclamation point on the woman who ambushed her after her semifinal bout in the Queen of the Ring tournament. Meanwhile, off your screen, you see Cora Jade, I think, just went after Vaquer. Roxanne, Perez going after Rhea, Ripley as well. Tiffany Stratton, meanwhile, in the ring, caught Lyra with a reversal. Stratton now out of the corner with the corkscrew. Chaos at ringside. Meanwhile, Tiffany Stratton just knocked off the Queen of the Ring.
Here are your winners, the team of Cora Jade, Roxanne Perez, and Tiffany Stratton.
Well, that does not go well for anybody on the opposing trio's momentum. A huge win for Stratton and company. Well, ever-growing stories here on Monday Night Raw, but ladies and gentlemen, coming up next here in Edmonton, John Cena looks for last-minute momentum before Money in the Bank as he goes one-on-one once more with Imperium's European elegance, Ludwig Kaiser. It's up next here on Raw. On Sunday, July 27th, the future changes in an instant. Live from the Bell Center in Montreal, the City of Saints, the fight capital of Canada, Money in the Bank returns, presented by Noah Nation Gaming channel memberships. Men and women will climb the ladders, not just for a briefcase, but for destiny. Inside that case, opportunity, power, a golden contract that can be cashed in anytime, anywhere for a world championship. Some rise to the moment, others fall beneath it. And in Montreal, with the eyes of the world watching, history will be made. New challengers will emerge, champions will feel the pressure, and new names will hold the keys to it all. Opportunity is the name of the game on Sunday night, July 27th at Money in the Bank. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is coming up live at 5 p.m. Eastern Time this Sunday night from the Bell Center in Montreal, Quebec, Canada. The 2025 Money in the Bank. And of course, the action going to begin 30 minutes prior for No Nation Gaming channel members on the Money in the Bank kickoff show, where you can see the Cruiserweight Championship of the World on the line in a King and Queen of the Ring rematch. This time around, it's 2 out of 3 falls. The Judgment Day's Dominic Mysterio looks to win back the gold as he goes one-on-one with the young OG, Javon Evans. That is taking place on the kickoff show, but let us move into the main show during Money in the Bank. The United States Championship from SmackDown will be contested in a triple threat contest. Austin Theory and Andrade have been on the hunt for LA Knight for months. These 3 men will clash for the red, white, blue, and gold in the middle of the North. One unsuccessful 6-woman tag team matchup moments ago. How will that fare into the mindsets of Stephanie Vaquer and Rhea Ripley come Sunday? It's got to go out the door. You got to have short-term memory. You got to focus on the Women's Championship. La Primera versus the Nightmare. Opportunity is the name of the game on Sunday night. We know 5 of 6 that will compete in the Women's Money in the Bank ladder matchup. Intercontinental Champion Alba Fyre, Roxanne Perez, Liv Morgan, Tiffany Stratton, and Julia. Either SmackDown's Bayley or United States Champion Kairi Sane will take the final slot on Thursday night. And it'll either be Jimmy Uso or Trick Williams joining these 5 men on Sunday. Carmelo Hayes taking a spot earlier tonight. Oba Femi, Damian Priest, Finn Balor, main event Jey Uso. A stacked field thus far in the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. And in SmackDown's main event on Sunday, live from Montreal, the Heavyweight Championship of the World is at stake. It's the Oscilla colliding with the Mad Dragon. Who will rise? Who will fall? Big Bronson Reed, the Tsar Ilya Dragunov for the World's Championship. Who will defend the gold at SummerSlam? And speaking of SummerSlam, who will be the #1 contender for the WWE Championship in Cleveland next month? We find out when the Second City Saint CM Punk takes on the franchise John Cena. It is a rivalry renewed with the opportunity of the highest this Sunday night. We will also find out who will be the defending champion come SummerSlam. Live at Money in the Bank, the undisputed WWE Championship will be contested between champion Braun Breaker and the Ring General Gunther. Two of the most dominating forces this industry has ever seen will collide on Sunday. Who leaves Montreal as WWE Champion? So much action on hand live for the Bell Center at 5 p.m. Eastern Time this Sunday night. But we kick off our tour of the North right here tonight in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. And we got a main event on hand here on Monday Night Raw. Ludwig Kaiser accepted the challenge. John Cena looking to build some last-minute momentum.
And his opponent from West Newbury, Massachusetts, weighing in at 251 pounds, the greatest of all time, John Cena.
You heard John Cena earlier tonight. Sunday may be the most important must-win matchup of his career. Cena wants to make history. He wants to break records. He wants number 17. Well, the road starts on Sunday. If, and only if, he can get through CM Punk, will John Cena secure himself a WWE Championship matchup at SummerSlam? Only one way to find out who will be the #1 contender come the biggest party of the summer. When the bell rings on Sunday night, it's Cena and Punk for all the marbles. But tonight on Raw, Imperium looks to continue to stick it to not only CM Punk, but also John Cena, who is clearly a fan favorite here in Edmonton. The bell has sounded. This main event is underway. Remember, just a couple of weeks ago in Seattle, a King and Queen of the Ring. This crowd continues to be behind John Cena. Hot is this audience here in Edmonton, Alberta tonight. As we were mentioning just a couple of weeks ago at King and Queen of the Ring, a massive victory for both Kaiser and Gunther of Imperium. Defeating John Cena and pinning CM Punk in that tag team matchup certainly was the feather in the cap that allowed Gunther to secure his spot as #1 contender for the WWE Championship. And if that didn't do it, the assault later that night on Braun Breaker certainly did. But John Cena coming in a Raw tonight, fired up. Cena threw out the challenge, although Kaiser was the one who got himself into this trouble, and John Cena's bringing the fight to all European elegance. Well, I will say this is a chance for Kaiser to bounce back as well. Coming up short to Damian Priest last week on Monday Night Raw in the midst of that men's Money in the Bank qualifying matchup. John Cena really had a great point earlier tonight talking about Ludwig Kaiser, and he may have taken a crack, made a little joke, calling him Gunther's cheerleader. We've talked about it a lot. Every time Kaiser laces up his boots, he's got to start getting the job done where it matters most. He's rubbed elbows with a hell of a lot of top talent, whether it was over on SmackDown during Imperium's time over there or just in the last few months here on Raw. Kaiser's been in the ring with the likes of a John Cena, CM Punk, Randy Orton, Damian Priest last week, but unfortunately for Kaiser, victory has been few and far between. Certainly could be the biggest win of his career tonight if he can pin John Cena just 6 nights before Cena competes against CM Punk. Cena surviving at least for the moment. You gotta believe that Kaiser may just have the edge in this matchup. Although they crossed paths earlier tonight, before that, the last time Kaiser and Cena were in the same ring was King and Queen of the Ring, where Imperium was victorious. On top of that, Cena's mind just may be in Montreal. John Cena may already be focusing on CM Punk and the potential WWE Championship matchup at SummerSlam. Cena's attention is undivided tonight, or I should say is divided. And his attention is not fully focused on Kaiser. Well, Kaiser could be on the verge of a huge victory. Especially if he keeps up offense like that. Blockbuster off the middle rope. John Cena has got no answer right now. And the cover goes Kaiser. Cena's still alive. Kaiser frustrated, but he cannot allow himself to be. Not the first time these two men have met in singles action. Unfortunately for Kaiser, Cena's always been victorious when they've gone one-on-one. Couple of battles on SmackDown last year, bleeding into this year. And now they meet again in the main event here on Monday Night Raw. Kaiser looking for a huge victory. Looking to set Imperium on the right track ahead of Gunther's clash with Braun Breaker this Sunday night. Again, he's got Cena in the ropes. Kaiser just relying on what has worked thus far and what is slowly but surely taking the life out of the franchise. Cena on wobbly foundation. Kaiser bringing him down this size. And there's that punt kick. Oh no, Cena had it scouted. Schoolboy. John Cena drops him with a fist. Uh-oh. Don't allow Cena to get going. Couple of shoulder blocks. Kaiser misses wildly. Down he goes. John Cena now in the prime position for a little 5-knuckle shuffle. And now Cena into the lateral. Kaiser still alive. Kaiser still alive as John Cena thought he had daylight on the horizon. Well, Cena's the one who threw out the challenge for this matchup. He wouldn't have done so if he didn't think he could get the job done against Kaiser here tonight in the Rogers place. Sit-out powerbomb by Cena. Kaiser clearly feeling the effects as he needs the ropes just to get to his feet. Kaiser just eating closed fists for his Monday night dinner. John Cena could be on the verge of a big momentum builder ahead of the one-on-one bout with the best in the world in 6 nights. So much history between CM Punk and John Cena. Punk wanted the challenge. John Cena, even before the stipulation that the winner would get an opportunity at SummerSlam was made. The stakes upped, the ante upped, the opportunity of the highest for two legends of this industry on Sunday. Right now, Cena and Kaiser just jockeying for position. Reversal for reversal here. Blocking each other's haymakers, blocking each other's shots, and now Cena gets the best of Ludwig Kaiser. John Cena does not want to see his shoulders get pinned to the mat 6 nights before Montreal. Kaiser, however, may not give him a choice. Missed wildly with the uppercut. Cena gonna take advantage. Down goes Kaiser. Can't make a mistake against the franchise player, against the former 16-time world champion. Kaiser now, maybe in the drop zone. Cena rarely leaves his boots, but when he does, it could be disastrous, but Kaiser sidestepping what looked to be the elevated DDT. John Cena missing wildly. Ludwig Kaiser taking an ounce out of John Cena's flesh that time and may have just taken some hope out of victory for Cena. There's a reversal that time as Cena caught himself on the apron. Now the Irish whip sends Kaiser over the top rope. Kaiser gonna catch himself. Another reversal. Seen a hell of a lot of them in this matchup. A brutal fight between John Cena and Ludwig Kaiser here in the middle of Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. Kaiser on the apron, unable to get back inside the ring as Cena leaving the shoes as he goes for the drop kick. Oh, wait a minute here. Cena, watch your back. Gunther's in the ring and he's ambushing Cena. In a moment's notice, Gunther in the ring and chokehold locked in on a man he's had so much history with. Well, you briefly heard a bell. Referee has thrown this matchup out. Cena's gonna win by disqualification as Gunther has ambushed Cena in the middle of Rogers Place. Well, Gunther should be focused on Braun Breaker, the WWE Championship, but clearly had his eyes on a man who could be eyeing up another match with the Ring General if the stars align at SummerSlam. Gunther just sending John Cena right out of what he believes to be his ring. Oh, wait a minute. Gunther spoiling this main event? But I think he's got some company. CM Punk is in Edmonton. Punk and Gunther now in the middle of the ring. CM Punk with unfinished business with the #1 contender to the WWE Championship. Well, Punk has fallen twice in recent months to the hands of Gunther. And although Punk looks to take on Cena on Sunday, he is far from done with the Ring General, title or not. Another fight now breaking out here on Monday Night Raw as our main event goes up in smoke. Cena gonna defeat Kaiser via disqualification, and now it's Punk and Gunther throwing haymakers. CM Punk ought to be focused on John Cena, but right now is coming to the aid of said Cena ahead of the Clash in 6 nights. Well, this is the last thing we expected when Cena and Kaiser and their bell sounded a few minutes ago, and now Punk sending Gunther to the outside. Almost similar history to all the times Gunther said Punk has embarrassed him inside of that ring. Well, now John Cena back on his feet, trying to shake off the attack from Gunther, and Cena and Punk inside the ring, face to face, just as they were last week when their matchup for Money in the Bank was agreed upon. A standoff between two men who have great respect, but on Sunday will clash for the ultimate opportunity at SummerSlam. Wait a minute, Punk! JTS on John Cena! Respect goes out the window. Punk sending a message to Cena that by hell or high water, he wants the victory on Sunday. Punk's gonna watch his back, because Gunther's back in the ring with a steel chair. An all-out brawl. Absolute chaos has ensued here in the closing moments of Monday Night Raw. John Cena feeling the effects of both of these men's finishing maneuvers, but Gunther and Punk are now once again brawling away. Gunther leveraging that steel chair as now he sends CM Punk to the outside. We gotta restore some order before somebody gets seriously hurt ahead of Money in the Bank. Oh, I don't think this man is coming to restore any order. Braun Breaker now on the scene. Braun Breaker coming to get him some of the Ring General. Well, Gunther laid out Braun in Seattle. Braun retaliated last week, cutting Gunther in half with a spear. They meet on Sunday for the gold, but push is coming to shove early here on Raw. Gunther now sent to the outside. Braun Breaker throwing his body in harm's way. The WWE Champion looking to dismantle, looking to destroy Gunther ahead of their clash this Sunday night. Braun Breaker sending Gunther to the diamond-plated steps. We're gonna need to empty the locker room, get referees, security, other superstars out here to try to regain some order, separate these two individuals. Gunther now, with Breaker brought to his knees. And a fight between these two men on the outside of the ring. Oh, so similar to what happened 3 weeks ago in Seattle. And now Gunther with another steel chair, this time to the rib cage of Braun Breaker. Oh man, well Braun Breaker might have walked right into the lion's den. Gunther laying waste to CM Punk, tried to choke out John Cena, and now he's got Braun Breaker in his sights. And now history from King and Queen of the Ring repeating itself with a power bomb on the outside of the ring. Gunther laying waste to any superstar that dared step before him. The Ring General's got one goal and one goal only, and that's to bring us back to the era that Gunther lives in. One where he is on top, one where he is champion, And come this Sunday, Gunther may just get his wish. We will see you in Montreal for Money in the Bank.